So yesterday we see how we can use Tomcat or Jetty Undertow web server for web application. So default web dependency coming up with Tomcat when we add web dependency, right? By default. Just a minute. Yeah. Once you add web dependency, it contains default Tomcat. It contains default Tomcat by default. So if you want to remove and add Jetty or Undertow, you need to exclude this dependency from this starter. This web starter contains Tomcat dependency also. So when you put exclusions here, it will remove Tomcat dependency from this web. So as an alternate for this Tomcat, here you can include Jetty. When you include Jetty here, okay, when you include Jetty here, so it is requesting for the Jakarta servlet version 5. So the compatibility version by default not available in 17. Okay, usually I didn't use I don't used to see this error while using Java 8 or 11. So as by default Spring 3 version 3.1 onwards it is recommending Java 17 or higher version. Okay, so you need to add this Jakarta servlet version here to activate Jetty. And Undertow also we can put here. Undertow also you can put here. Okay, for this Undertow, the default servlet version is fine. You need not to enable this. Okay, and when you want to change port number of your Tomcat, just configure this parameter here. Server dot port is equal to required port number. You can add here. So this is the default property, server dot port. There are so many such properties you can see in properties file. There are so many default properties that you can see here. Just a minute, it is loading. You can see there are so many properties. Logging default properties. Okay, server default properties, Jetty default properties, Netty properties, port, reactive, servlet context. There are so many properties we have here. Okay, one of such important is server dot port. So this server dot port will help you to assign your required port number. We can use this for production also. In production also, can I use this Tomcat? Yes, you can use. If you want, you can use, and you can assign your required port here in server or in your local development, whichever port you want. Okay, so for each environment to different port if you want to use in general, right? We will be having multiple environments, as I was saying profiles yesterday, right? So these profiles are for identifying the group of classes. This group of classes may be for environment or they may be for your code flow. Here, this example, in this example we see my code wanted to execute for only particular state. That state class only I want to execute. For such scenario also we used profiles. That means profiles on top of classes. Profiles on class level we see that example. And in properties also we can put profiles. In the properties file also we can put profiles. Let's say for generally this is how we can understand it more easily. Usually, right, profiles we can use in so many ways. One is for deployment, we can use them. We can use it for class level profiling we can do, and the bean level, at the rate bean level also we can do. Profiles we can use for particular deployment purpose, class level and bean level profiles also we can use. How they will work we will see. How they will work we will see. Deployment level, how they will work first. Okay, usually, right, we will have so many servers for production one, and for UAT, for SIT, for development. There will be a lot of servers and one code repository we used to have. Let's say Bitbucket I have here. Bitbucket, which is my code repository. Here is my code, my application code I have here. Just a minute. Where is that? Yeah. So here is my code in Bitbucket. Here is my code in Bitbucket. Yesterday we were talking about SCM, salary credit management something, SCM or any application, some XYZ application, PMS, product management system, something reservation management system, or employee management system, student management system, or e-commerce application, XYZ, any application. My application is part of my repository Bitbucket. Okay, consider one use case like product management system code I have here. In shell skeleton I have created here product management system in Bitbucket. By default we will create a branch. Default we create a branch, main branch. In default main branch, first step I'll go to Bitbucket and I'll be creating a project. I'll be going to Bitbucket and there I'm creating a project. Let me show you. I'll create a Bitbucket project here. Okay. So create a repository here, or you can create a project. For one project, you may have a lot of repositories, especially in microservices. Okay, let's say if I take product management system, create a project. So from the scratch, I'm creating first a project created. Now for this project, there are no repositories. For each microservice, you may have one repository. Let's say don't consider microservices a monolithic application I have here. Okay, one single repository I want to create, something product management system. Create a repository. README file. Yes, maybe create repository here. So repository got created. Okay. By default here it is created as master. Default one is master. Okay. So once master branch is created here, maybe you can create basic skeleton of the project before it sharing with all other team members. You may create your project skeleton and upload here. Let's see how I can do that. Security, pull request, security download repository settings, access token. Okay, so to clone I can use this. Now I can clone my project here. You need to have git installed, git client in your machine so that you can clone project here. Create a folder, product management system, right click, go to properties, show more properties, show more options. Here you can see git bash, git UI. Click on git bash and paste that clone command here. So it is cloning project. The project is cloned. Let me keep this path here. Clone add. So my project got imported here. Now what I can do, I can create a skeleton and I can put that here. A basic project skeleton. Okay, simple web project I'll create and I'll upload into master so that everybody can pull and they can start working on it. So product management system from.w.pms. Next. So one web dependency, finish. I'll tell you why I'm telling all this story here. Okay. So now properties. Okay, this is your PMS project. This one, if I want to commit it there, you need to have this project code here. Mm, okay, let me put the source code there. Data inside PMS. Yeah, you can put all these files there. all files got created here. Okay, now what I can do, let's re-import this project here. Let me delete it. I should have created it on that location. Okay, okay. Now this default skeleton, right? No code, nothing. To commit it, what you need to do, go to Git GUI here, right click, show more options, use Git GUI. It will show all your changes here, what all you changed so far, what are all new files you added, it will show here, commit them. So this is one default test class. Just select this file icon, one application properties file created, select it. One main method class, select it. One form file, get it. And the other this maven command and all not required, but if you want you can send everything. So these all are the new files that we added after skeleton created. Click on commit and you can push to master branch. Push. Okay, your code is pushed into Git. You can go and check your branch here. Go to your repository. So this is the master branch and we committed code here. So skeleton for PMS project is committed. So you can see whichever files we have committed, those files came here. Now you can ask a team to start work on it. Before that, for each environment, you can create one branch here for each environment. You can decide master, do you want to use it for production or for development? It's up to you. So this master, I want to use it for production releases. Means completely developed, tested code, fully developed and tested code. Only I want to keep it in master now onwards. Basic skeleton I created, but now onwards, my team should not commit anything here until unless I give approvals to them. Then where should they work? From master, I'll be creating one UAT branch, one UAT branch. So this is where end user will test, end user testing will perform. So from UAT, I'll be creating one more branch, SIT. This is where tester will perform the testing and we can create one more branch, development branch. Here all the integration, developer integration can happen. Integration testing can be done. A group of developer while we are developing the code, right? Other team developer or other developer code also you want to test by integrating your code. Once you push your code into dev, right? All the latest code will be available and you can work on it. So from here I want to create my release branch. So let's say you planned 4 releases for this quarter. So you may create that release branches, release one. So on this release, you will have a number of stories, whatever you want to deliver for that. Let's say for quarter one, I want to use this release one branch or release two branch. You can create that. From this release branch, I'll ask my team to cut the branches, their feature branches. From here, each developer can get his code. So here, let's say one story is assigned to you, product management system. Story number one, if it is assigned to you, you can create story number one branch, a separate branch you can create. For story number two, you can create one more branch. For story number three, you can create one more branch. For story number four, you can create one more branch. And you can pull this code in your local machine. So let's say Dikshit is working on PMS1. He should create this branch. On this branch, he should start working. This branch, he will get it into his local machine, into his laptop or desktop. You need to getting something a developer one. He getting this project here and he will work on it. Once he done with his development, he will be committing here. He will be committing his code here. So initial commit will go to this branch. So once development is completed, he will commit it here. Once code is committed to this branch, okay, he can create a pull request to push his code to release one. He feels that code is good, so he wanted to send it to release one branch. Okay, he can send it here by raising pull request. So once code is committed, they can create pull request. As of now, as we have only one branch, need not to create any pull request. But if you see, you have option here, create pull request, create it. So when we click on create, it will show the source branch, means your PMS1 branch and master branch. In my case, both are same. So just see here, you can put your comments, add XYZ comments here, and you can add who all wants to review it. There is only one user. So for this project, usually your team is access will be having access, right? You can add your team members in the review list, and you can create pull request. So as both are same, it is not creating it. Nothing has changed. Both are same branches, so why you are creating? So when you have a different branch here, source, like your PM story one branch, from there if you want to send it to release branch, then it will allow you to create pull request here. As soon as you click on pull request, one email will be triggered to this user with your pull request link. So he can go there and he can start or review your code. He can start review your code, what all changes you have done so far. He can review and he may approve or decline based on your implementation. So for now, yeah, we don't have anything, so that let's create it. So from this master, right, you can create as many branches as you want first. So as a lead, what I will do, I'll go here and create multiple branches in the beginning itself. From this master, right, I can create multiple branches. Create a branch name UAT. It is derived from master branch, and create one more branch. Nothing to check out. So you can see here now two branches, master and UAT. Create one more branch, SIT. SIT from UIT you can create one more branch. We have till SIT. From SIT you can create dev branch. Here you can create your release branches. Release 1.0, and you can ask your developer to start working on it. So you can ask to create a branch here. Let's say one story is assigned to you. So maybe using Jira, they create stories, your Scrum Master, and assign it to you. Create a project, software development, Kanban or Scrum. Okay, you can use anything in general. Okay, if it is a product which is having full requirements, can be utilized with Kanban. If not, Scrum can be utilized. Okay, so for regular project, Scrum is okay. Team managed project, PMS. So I'm just connecting, integrating PMS from Jira, connect with this PMS. What happened? Okay, connected, fine. So on Jira board, usually tasks will be available and the task will be assigned to you. Over here, your Scrum Master will create the task and assigns this to you. Create a story, create products is the story and the required description. Create products will be having product ID, name, color, price. All the details will be provided here, which all you need to implement. Create it. Go to backlog. All the stories will be available in backlog so that we can add it into current sprint. Move to PMS sprint 1. And you can assign this to a developer. Assign it. And usually sprint used to be 2 weeks or 3 weeks sprint. In that 3 weeks we need to finish it. So start it. So what is the starting date? What is the ending date? Generally 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Or we can customize it. Usually many using 2 weeks sprints. So you can have 2 weeks sprint here. Start it. So sprint is started. Now everyday calls will happen in the morning and they will ask what is the status of this development. As this is assigned to me, immediately what I should do, I need to create a branch for it. I need to create a branch for it. Here also you have option. You can create a branch. So it is a release. I'm planning it for a release from branch. TMS project. From branch is release branch. So by default branch name also it is given. That's cool. From Jira itself I am requesting for a create new branch. So both are integrated now. So one branch is created for you in Bitbucket here. If you go here, you can see your branches. You have one new branch also here. Then you can clone this branch as well. Release slash, this is the branch name, right? You can directly now clone your branch. Now as a developer, what you will be doing, you will be applying this command git clone hyphen hyphen branch, release branch, and your git URL. Somewhere into your machine, as a developer, you will be creating a folder, and there you will be applying this git bash paste. Now your development is started. So you can import this code. You can import this code into your machine and you can start working on it. As already same name exists, it won't allow you. Let's rename this one. I'm just renaming the existing project so that it allows upcoming new one. So get the branch here, import existing Maven project, finish. So now I got this code here. Now I can start working on this. Now I can start working on this. Okay, here I can put my code. Let's say as per requirement, I need to implement a product class, product controller, rest controller, public string create product. We'll be writing simple product being here. Add setters and getters. Okay, maybe I'll put request body here. Okay, Just a simple class I'm creating just to commit it. Okay. So here is my code and I want to commit it. And in my local, I want to use server.port while testing. I want to use port number is equal to 9090. Then you can call this application as I don't have any UI, right? Let me use postman to make that post call. So call is post, localhost 9090 slash create product. Keep URL there, create a product and pass this product to data. ID, name, email address. And submit it. If request is accepted, product created successfully message getting. Okay. Anyway, data is coming here. You can fetch and print it. So my development is done. Maybe I'll write some unit test cases here, and once everything is done, what I need to do, I'll be going into my branch and I'll be committing my code here. Open Git GUI. Okay, not this one. And one port number I added. Okay, add this. And one class I created, product controller. And one bean I created, add that. And put your commit message, like your story number. So the story number is PMS1. Always you put story number here and add some description. Created product controller and the product class. Commit, push it. So I'm sending my code to release branch. So code is successfully merged to my release branch. So you go here, basically here, right, as a developer, what you need to do once this story is assigned to you, as you started development, right, you need to change the status to in progress. Okay, you need to change it to in progress. So from to do to in progress it will come. And now you pushed your code, team need to review that. So you can go to branch. So this is your branch. So there is some code added here. You can see two classes are coming up and showing. Now your team need to review this. So to review it, you need to create a pull request. You need to create a pull request here. So click on create pull request option. So this is my source branch, and you need to commit it to which branch? To your release branch. From release only you pulled it, right? So there only you need to commit it and add your comments. Create it. So when pull request is created, you can share this pull request with your team. And you can put it in teams and ask them to review it. Once they will open it, once they will open it, right, they can see what all changes you have done. If it is a new class, it will show plus added file, new file. If it is already existing file, it will show it as a edit icon. Application properties is a existing file. It is showing modified file. What you modified, just added one single property. And for new files, you can see complete brand new code. Okay, I reviewed, and when I feel that the setters and getters are not really makes any sense, add Lombok to this project. I may put a comment here. I may put comment here. Use Lombok instead of setters and getters. Then you can read this comment and you can work accordingly here. When you feel okay, Lombok is required, go to Spring, add starters, add one more new starter to your project. Lombok, next, finish it. Lombok will struck this project sometimes. Let's see, I hope it will finish. At 75% it will start. Let's see. Just give it a minute. Once Lombok is added, we can edit this class and we can remove all these setters and getters. Uh, it will take days. It won't finish. Okay, as it is, I'm keeping it here. Anyway, you do changes and you commit it as per the review comments. If everything is good, right? Once again, it will be reviewed, and once if it is review, right? So we can finish the review. See, the comments are submitting. So if once again you pushed it, again I can review. If everything good, I can approve it. So once approved it, you can merge it. So now what will happen? Your local code is going to one level up to release branch. So now you merge it. Your code will go to release branch. Your code will go to release branch as it is merged. Now other developers also will continuously work on their stories. Once they finished it, they will merge code to release branch. After release branch, once your Scrum Master asks everyone, are you all done with your implementations for this sprint? Or if you want to send it for integration testing, you can push it to dev branch, there you can test. And once everything is ready, you can create one more pull request to SIT. There testers can test it. From SIT to UAT you can move. UAT people can test. From here you can push it to master. How they will test? As I am working in local, I have a mission. There I am running it. I have Java software, everything, so I am able to run it. Once it move to dev environment, testing environment, or end user testing or production, you need to have different machines, different set of softwares, different set of configurations you require. For prod, you will be having one prod server, one UAT server, SIT server, dev server, different machines you can have. And as soon as you move your code to that different set of machines, what you can do, if it is DevOps configured, usually in DevOps what we do, automatic pipelines will be configured. So that automatic pipelines will be doing what? Using Jenkins and all. We can have a script to run my code here in this dev machine. So there will be dev server. Your code will go and run on dev machine. Once you move your code here, you can trigger it. There will be some trigger files, you can run it. Now when you run your code on dev machine, dev is having different set of software and databases. In local you have maybe local database. For dev, you will be having dev database. And for prod, you will be having prod database. For each environment, I have different set of databases. Same database I can't use till production, right? Because information is so sensitive, developers will not see information of production or UAT. So these two will have production information. End user, as end user is having access to both, right? Production and UAT. So this is sensitive information. Testers or developers will not get that information. In case if they want to share information, sensitive information, they will mask it and they will share with us. Okay, so here we have different set of databases also. How I can differentiate them when I move to a specific branch and when I click a trigger file, it should deploy into so and so machine and it should connect with that respective databases only. How it will connect? Or it may have some other dependencies. It may need to connect with the other machine. That machine also, in that machine also it need to connect with the SIT machine only. Where I can put all that. So that's where this deployment profiles configuration will come into the picture. Okay. So for each environment, you have different set of configurations. A simple example is we are using we are using port number 8080 here. Port number 8080 I am using here. But I don't want to use 8080 for dev environment. For dev I want to use 9191. For UAT I want to use 9290. For production I want to use 9392. So how I can differentiate it? How it will recognize that? So coming to properties, Kali properties. Okay, how we can differentiate is here. You can put spring dot active dot on profile. There is a property spring dot profiles on profile. Spring dot config dot on profile. If it is a local profile, I want to continue with these properties and keep a line separator. If profile is dev, I want to run it on 9191. Lombok will mess up if I add. Let me terminate it. Let me see different editor. Or I'll create a new project here just to show you how you can differentiate it. Com SB. Let's see. In many ways, we can configure these properties. Let us first see with the simple properties file. Just a minute. Spring startup project or same project we can import here. So I'm using PMS only. Okay. Project is getting imported here. Yeah. Spring.config.on profile local during my development and dev 9191. What is the line separator here? Is it equal something? Let me see. So if you go to this documentation, right, you will be seeing a lot of examples here. Okay, hash hyphen hyphen. dev UAT SIT. Maybe in skeleton project itself your tech can add this and provide it to you, or else you can add 9393 and prod 9494. So during development for my local I'll be using 9090 property only. For the next environment when I push my code and start it, so it should run it on respective machine within this port number. Not only port number, if you have a different set of DB configurations, not only this, right? You can have DB configurations, comma your JPA configurations. Comma if you have any external configurations, XYZ, you can put all that configurations here, which is suitable to your local for dev, for SIT, UAT, production. So only this properties it will pick it up if it is local. If it is dev, this properties. How it will differentiate while you're running this project, you need to pass that parameter. There is my PMS here. Now when update, the project is updated. Now you can run it. How to run? Why still showing error? JDK 70. Yeah. So while running, right, you can pass which profile you are running from your command line argument. Let it finish build. Start it. Before starting it, go to run configuration. Project PMS. We could a different application. Run configurations. Okay. So here you need to pass your arguments string dot profile dot active. Which profile you want to active? So local. If you pass local argument here and if you run it, your application will be starting in this respective port number 9090. What happened to you? An update. Application is getting started. 8080 is using. So we changed all the properties here. It should be running in 9090. Check out run configuration. It is gone. Apply and run it again. Why it is not refreshing? On profile local 9090 has to be executed. Something going wrong. Run configuration. Main class argument. Correct only na. Spring dot profiles dot active is equal to local. Nothing specifically I should do for it. This looks good to me, but yeah, maybe ID is hanging up, not taking the latest property. Maybe refresh your project, run it again. No way. Same property I can set here as well, which is the default profile that need to be running. Spring dot profiles dot active is equal to local. I can set it up here. Via properties file also I can tell that which profile need to be picked. Usually that is not recommended. Runtime only we will pass. That means it is not at all refreshing the project, because it is not refreshed. If I put a default server port again here, that's a 9090 also in use. Okay. What if I use dev, which is 9191? I think this is the bad parameter. Spring dot active dot on profile or just on profile. That I need to confirm. Okay, it looks good. That is good. We need not to add anything special. Profile looks good. Profile properties also looks good. When I give dev, it should come here and get this property. Do I need to do anything else for it? No, I believe. By default, it is taking default server port. That means profile it is not picking up at all. Maybe due to these comments or what? 9090 it is using. Right? Dev is having 919. Okay. So it is given respect to command line argument. So preference is going to command line argument. So give SIT here. Okay. Now choosing 929249. Go to run configuration. Change it to UAT. UAT port number is 9393. So it is started in 9393. Run configuration. Prod. So this is how we can configure all the environment properties into one single properties file. Again, here we have multiple styles. One properties file or one YML file, multiple properties files or multiple YML files. Okay, in four ways we can configure them. Okay, so yeah, and this is not recommended setting up it from the properties, but if you want to do that right, use this as well. Usually we pass it at runtime via command line argument the profile, so that dynamically it will pick up. So this is how we can have the configurations. We can have the configurations for all the environment, so that during deployment time based on the profile, it helps us to choose the dynamic configurations. Okay, and the class level profiles already we have seen yesterday, right? I have given each state separate classes, and when I active profile, that particular class is only picked up. Same thing you can try with the bean also. On top of at the rate bean, you can use that at profile and try to create specific beans. Okay. So once after these discussions, right, we will do end-to-end project by applying okay all these configurations. Once data JPA is done, right, we will do it. end-to-end integration part. I hope at least you got the basic idea of profiles, how they will work environment wise.